Previously, Haruto got 2 rings after marrying 2 princesses, and now it was time for him to marry the 3rd princess and get the Ring of Fire from Princess Garnart. But Princess Garnart wanted to marry a man who was stronger than her, so she always had a duel with every man who came to propose to her, and Haruto had to fight her as well. But Haruto was by far the weakest opponent she faced, so Garnart was disappointed, but, as a ring princess, it was her duty to marry Haruto and give her support to him. So she made an exception and told Haruto that she would go easy on him in their next fight so he could defeat her easily, but that just hits the man's pride. So Haruto decided to have a duel fair and square and trains harder every day to become stronger, to get acknowledged by his 3rd wife. But after a tiring practice, the next day when he woke up, Nephritis had sneaked into his bed secretly. She was worried Haruto was working out and training too much. She was worried for him. So she was offering herself, but a late bloomer can't understand that, and then suddenly Nephritis tells Haruto that Ring King has to just obtain the ring from Princess. So no one will question how he got it, because it is the sole duty of Ring Princess to support the king, just like she wants to support him. She was really close and wanted to go a little further. But Haruto still didn't get it and leaves to get ready. That just crushed her hopes, so Haruto gets back to his training, and after so much he was showing improvement in his swordsmanship, but still, he's no match for the Fire Princess, because she got agility, and Marsh didn't have that skill, so Haruto had to adapt to it in order to land a hit on Garnat. So even Marsh tells Haruto to use the ring's power, but he still wants to beat Garnart without ring's powers, which worries Nokana. But there she heard from 2 girls that Princess Garnart already offered herself to Haruto. Nokana freaked out, but she just misunderstood, because they meant that Garnart got a massage from Haruto. Nokana got jealous that Haruto touched her first, and started to get that kind of a thoughts and wished to have to get the same treatment, but after that, the time comes for the 2nd round. But Nokana was still upset about that thing, so Alabaster tells Nokana to cheer up because Haruto was working hard these days, but she doesn't care if Garnart accepts Haruto or not. But a knight who lost from Garnat got jealous from Haruto that was the Ring King, but he saw a dark ring lying in the ground. That ring started to hypnotize that knight by telling out his desires. And because of hypnotics, that knight wore that ring of the Abyss King. Meanwhile, the duel was getting started between 2 future couples, but that knight made his way through to kill Haruto. So Garnart saved his skin and attacked the knight, which reveals that the knight had turned into an Abyss Knight, and his body was covered in flames, so Garnart's attack was useless. There Haruto sneaked up on him and used the power of wind to hit him, but even his attack failed even with the power of rings, so the knight summoned many monsters. But unfortunately they were in the cat people's area, so the warriors saved the people first and then joined together to kill those lizards. And Garnart decided to face the Abyss Knight herself and tells Haruto to stay back because her cat people once fought alongside the first Ring King. They were the brave warriors and their blood runs through her veins as well, and since Haruto was the Ring King, it is her job to protect him even if he turns out to be a weakling. No doubt Haruto is weak because he can't even harness the full power of the rings, but still, he wants to draw that knight close enough to blow away his flames to make an opening for Garnart. Haruto appears confident in his abilities, so he calls out to the knight, and just as he planned, he blows out the flames with his wind power, and Garnart and Haruto took care of the knight. And the other cat warriors took down the monsters he summoned without casualties, and seeing Haruto's courage, Garnat acknowledged his courage and accepted him as a husband. But Haruto didn't want things to turn out this way, so he again challenges her to a fight, but Haruto had no chance against Garnat, and Nokana couldn't watch him get beaten up. But Nephritis tells Nokana that he's fighting all this time for her, so she should believe him, and Haruto still wasn't using powers from the rings because it's a power given to him by his wife. And he wants to become cool in the eyes of his wives, so he decided to defeat her with his own strength. Nokana got happy hearing that, and tells Haruto that she would sleep with him if he wins. That's the greatest motivation for any boy, but suddenly Haruto heard a voice coming out of Ring. It told him he will help him out and this power isn't from the princesses. So Haruto accepted the helping hand, and just as Garnart vanished, Ring told him she's above and Haruto got that chance to beat Garnart. He actually won and Garnart fell head over heels for him that she kissed him instantly and gave him the Ring of Fire, and offers her body and soul, because in her nation, loser submits to the victor, but Haruto very diligently tells her to wait because he first wants to collect his reward from Nokana. Haruto was in a hurry to take on Nokana. And Nokana was ready for it, But Haruto falls asleep because he was too exhausted from training, so the next day when he woke up, he was besides nokana. Nephritis sneaked in and tells him he didn't do anything to her, so that was disappointing, but then Garnart prepared a great banquet for Haruto to honor him. The people of Nidakita had been loyal to the Ring King, so it was a great moment for them to serve their king again, but Haruto tried to tell her about the ring. But Garnart tells Haruto that it was his win because he never gave up till the end, so she acknowledges him as her husband from her heart, but Nokana got jealous and accidentally drank alcohol. So Haruto brings her back to her room, and reassured her that he won this because she cheered for him and as a reward he just wants to touch the racks. But Garnart got disappointed because Haruto was so slow to make a move, so she jumped on him to take matters into her own hand. He was acting unusually, and Nokana and Nephritis saw that incenses were the reason, so they picked up a stool and knocked her out unconscious to save Haruto's innocence. And that's how Haruto got 3 rings by marrying 3 princesses. But our video comes to an end for today, and if you haven't seen any episode of this anime, then please go to the playlist section in my channel and go to name, Ring of the Wedding Rings. Please watch it if you haven't seen any episodes. Until then, take care.